Happy New Year!
What?
Welcome back to another exciting Transformers Servos stream.
2020, everybody.
2020, yeah. The new year is here.
Yes.
We're all quite tired, I guess, from having too much holiday.
A little tired. I was having to do with like math, numbers, and budgets and things for an event, so I think that drained me a little bit. But now I get to hang out with you guys, so now I'm energized again.
Yay!
Ooh,
Yeah.
do you guys have any good New Year's resolutions? Or like most momentous things from the last decade? Because it's a new decade.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. It's hot in here.
Another decade. Welcome
You guys go first.
20s. So let's start by saying hi to some people. So hi, Sletsam, Laser Claw 80, Scourge 1024, Osteo Prime, Gustavo Valerio, Abesalaran, the Booster Bot, Patrick Star 84, Thrust 78, Papi Bless, and let's.
And hello and happy new year to Ivan Garcia, Thomas Rook, Stephen Quartz, Bane of Sins, hello to Special Ball William Bover, Windblade Loki, Ash Yagami, Deadpool, Mega Master Jonathan Bermudez, and hello to Howard Choi, H Metal 96, G1 Armada, Grand Gavatron, a lot of people on YouTube today.
Cool. And hola to Gaston Orofino, Gino, Copio, Rojas, Vlases, where is Jairo when we need to know the Spanish names? Berham Tastelen, Sebastian Rudat, Maud Faris, and all the other people in Facebook.
Yeah. And hello also to Mike Makula, Destruction Sword, Uday Mishra, Damon Swink. I always trip on this one. I'm not gonna say it. Hoy, WNJ, that was really inappropriate. I almost said it. Yeah, hello to everybody and Happy New Year again.
Hello, everybody. Jairo wanted to be here, but he lost his
Yeah, I
phone.
think he was like in for the last 2 days, and he was like, oh, I can't make it. And then I think today was he's just gone totally. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
maybe
think-
he's watching, so you guys can like wish him well.
yeah, wish him a bit well, and wish him to come back tomorrow and eat him.
yeah.
He will work.
Poor guy.
Poor guy, so much pressure here in the studio.
You okay? How are you doing, Jan?
Oh, okay. We're all been okay. Like I think we came in and there's so many things to start in the year. Like there's a lot of things gonna be happening quite early this year. So I think we just came in and just jumped straight into it.
Yeah,
But
we're
already,
Sweden is silent right now.
already in holiday.
Everybody's just like,
It's true. Although last week I was in for a couple of days and it was really quiet, so most people were still on holiday. And that was really nice. It was like a chill vibe.
Oh, yeah, like I
A few
was
people
here
there.
like New Year's Eve, and I came back on the second too.
I thought you
Oh,
meant
no,
here
sorry,
New Year's Eve.
Christmas Eve, and I was here from the second.
Yeah.
And because I did so much work because there was no one
Because it was so
around to
quiet.
speak, and I was like, oh, I just can just double down and actually do stuff. So I love that, but yeah, wish I could have more holiday.
I don't
Anyway,
have
hope you guys had also a good break. Enjoyed all the events over the holidays. Got lots of good gifts, a lot of good presents, and hope you're energized for another year.
yeah. And so I'm gonna make a quick run through what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk about the event and then Insecure Complex. We're gonna read a little bit of dialogues.
People are excited about it, looks like.
The event.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard that.
I think that's gonna be a good one.
After that, we'll show the new bots in the showroom. We'll just show how they look in the game
So
right now.
yeah, we announced the 2 new bots coming up next, and we'll talk about them more coming up.
Yeah, and we'll be also showcasing the Minds Power Core. You probably saw in the game a new section is open in your lab.
Yeah, so if you select a power mine, you can actually see you can put something in it, but there's nothing to put yet. So
So we're going to talk about this and show them in the game as well. We'll answer some Q&A. We'll do some Q&A, we'll answer some questions, and we'll do some trivia.
cool. So let's. Oh wait, let me plug in the power because I have not done it yet, and I don't want another case where the power just went out and we were sitting here like, oh, it's gone. but they could still see us for like a few minutes
Oh, really?
while the screen was just
Oh,
dead.
so sad.
It was fun. Cool, so let's jump into the game and the event. Cool. Hopefully it doesn't blink too much. So the event for this weekend is called Insecure Complex. The connection is a bit spotty, so forgive us guys for the interruptions. So it's a guaranteed 4-star crystal if you finish the event, so you get 2,500 4-star shards, so you can get a new crystal. It has 2,000 3-star shards, 5,000 premium shards, 70,000 spark, and 5 million alloy and energy. You can also win 1 gold power chip, 5 silver power core chips, and 5 frozen spark crystals, which equal chances to drop a 5,000 or 7,000 or 10,000 spark, and also super XP battles. So it's pretty awesome event. Super XP, you get 70,000 sparks if you win, and also you get the chance of keep winning up to 50,000 more by the crystals. So if we see how the totalizer is broken, so it is an alliance event. 500,000 is a max battle points that you need to collect. So if you go all the way to 395,000, that's where you can get a gold chip. You can get the crystals. I think the 4-star crystal lives around somewhere. I don't know. Somewhere there. I don't know where exactly he put it. It's not one of the final rewards. So the frozen spark crystal is actually one of the last ones, and you can. I think it's pretty early on, so you can. It's somewhere there. You'll find it, but anyway, yeah. You get a chance to use a gold to win a gold chip. You have a chance to get a lot of like currency, and you have like a lot of 3-star shards. This is a non-tube. This is a crystal that you will get tubes. Sorry, you will get tubes. So I don't know. I guess for the people that want to just go for the next 5-star, I will give you like the 5-star shards, or people can get a new 4-star bot. Cool. So that's invent. A lot of spark, a lot of XP, a lot of crystals. So hopefully you can get something new and exciting. And you also get a lot of spark to level up your abilities. Yes. Cool. Let's go back to chat for a bit because it is really spotty, the connection on the device. I don't know, it just keeps interrupting. And I'm not gonna be moving the cables because it might just go dead.
Talking about 5-star, some people were asking question, is there going to be a new addition of 5-star bots for Shanix?
No. At the moment, there is no plan for us to change the existing 5-star in the Sanix. No matter what you have heard, there is no plan.
Yeah.
So
we have mentioned in the past we're going to bring new stuff in the Sanix store.
There's going to be other stuff in the Sanix store. We will update the Sanix store, but there is no plans at the moment to put another 5-star in.
5-star is not what we're thinking of when we said new stuff is coming. Cool. Should we... What were we doing next? Should
we do dialogue?
I don't know, Fab. You were the one who said it.
Let's see. Wait, we're not done not yet. I love when you just you get the dialogue from the bots sometimes appear in
randomly on all accounts.
Because you just it's been a lot of account. Cool. Is there any other questions in the meantime?
Because we have announced that the next Autobot to join the game will be Strafe, people are just thinking, oh, the next combiner is probably Computron. So who is the next Decepticon combiner? That's the
never know. I mean, we never know who the next Autobot combiner is gonna be. I mean, you got the first of the Technobots, but there's still 5 Technobots. So, like, who knows by that point, like, who is gonna be the next one of what?
Yeah, is it even Computron? We don't know.
We don't even know, so we'll find out. So let's go back and actually do the dialogue for this week before we can actually jump in showing some other the new characters in the showroom and actually doing some showing the rest of the stuff. So hopefully this can actually not break for a bit. It broke straight away. Cool.
Number 5, Silverbolt. Against an aerial threat from the Decepticons of 3 times that. We, all of us, need every bit of extra flying power we can muster right now.
For the record, Ultra Magnus, I disagree. Anyway, there's Jetfire and Blades and Cosmos.
Can I be impacted?
Yeah.
And Sandstorm and Skyburst and a few others. Oh. But it's not enough.
This is really sporty.
If I was Megatron, I'd be upping my game in that department even as we speak. We're behind the curve.
Still, we've got Superior, that counts for a lot.
And for every combiner we have on tap Skydive, they're one equal and opposite. It's a stalemate. We need to change up the rules of engagement.
So it's a done deal, huh? Figures, aerial warfare tactics, and no one ever thought it might be an idea to consult us.
And if we had Firefly, what then? You just have trotted out the same objections. Oh, suck it up, I had to. Still think another Wrecker would have been the better bet.
Impactor's right, and we're telling you now, so you don't fly off the handle later.
What do you think, Silverbolt? Do we just sit tight and wait for whichever flyboat they've called it from Cybertron to upstage us?
No, Air Raid, we do not. I think we should Ultra Magnus Impactor and every other commanding officer out there what the aerobots can't do. Alone, unaided.
A preemptive strike.
Right at the heart of their air command base, the secret one we're not supposed to know about. We have Punch to thank for that.
What could go wrong?
Yay, it's over! Oh, we're done.
That's painful.
The good thing is we won't have to use that to sewing the bots.
True.
Sorry about that, guys. No idea.
Happy New
what,
Year,
like,
Nathan.
It's a demon in the cables.
Yeah, so the dialogue mentions that another aerobot is coming. It's potentially from Cybertron, and that's actually the shape of Strafe, who's a sort of Cybertron.
Yeah, he's one of the weird ones. I think
Yeah.
most of the Technobots are like quite weird ones, not actually based so much from human vehicles.
Yeah.
Because I think, according to the cartoon, they were created in Cybertron by Smart Grimlock.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was a few episodes of Grimlock just got a brain, and he was like
Okay.
super smart, so he created.
Some player mentioned it in the chat, and I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, and he actually had to give his brain to the new combiner because he needed the extra power in order to win the day. So that's how Grimlock became a bit dumb again. Cool. So should we move in
Yeah, we can.
to actually start showing the characters then.
We can show the characters. Yeah.
And hopefully this is gonna be better than the other one. Okay. One sec.
Gonna keep on taking note of your questions.
Yeah, I think the problem was we're running too many things on the background.
So there's already a question from Patrick Starr who asked us if the wings from Thrust have already been fixed. So yeah, we shared the renders in the newsletter for Thrust, and a lot of players have told us that we didn't get the wings
That's
of
okay.
Thrust quite right. So the story is like the 3 cone heads, they are Ramjet and Dirge, and these two are actually made on the exact same model, and Thrust is not. His wings are a little bit different. They have this kind of like, how do you call that?
They have kind of fans on the side, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
actually have kind of a VTOL kind of capability.
Yeah, which we kind of missed that a little bit on the first model, so we're actually reworking it now. So what we're going to show you now is the current model, the one we have like on the server, but our artists are currently remodeling the wings of Thrust.
Cool. So let's find Trust and not any other.
Is it? This is a 4-star.
This is the 4-star. Trying to see because all the cone heads look the same.
No.
Designed by name.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake. There it goes. So Thrust.
Past him.
Cool. So this is thrust.
So right now he looks kind of like Ramjet. Ramjet is a bit different. It's more like red on the outside and the body is more white. Thrust is more the red one from the legs. You can see the cone head as well. So it's supposed to look a little bit different than the two other ones. That's what we're working on right now.
So I think his head is gonna be more cone head as far
I
as
like
I
the
know.
cone head ones.
They're gonna be a bit more cone than me, and the wing shapes are gonna be changing to be more of the traditional like
VTOL,
VTOL
propeller,
thing.
yeah, and they're gonna be also like a little less long as well. The difference that we had for Ramjet, for example, is like we put the wings on the back rather than on the legs.
Yeah.
But this is due to the 3D models of the way.
Yeah, I mean the wings always were left. I mean we always wanted to put the wings on the feet, the same as the toys
Yeah.
and the old cartoon. But when they actually start walking around and you have wings attached there, it doesn't really good with all the clipping happening. That's why the wings were actually moved originally up there. And whether he says it, whether he said like the wings are not correct, yes, that's what we're talking on. The wings will change, so please stay tuned. And
Yeah. Somebody is like, as we speak, remodeling them, but it's not in the game yet.
yeah. And yeah, it's not. We're not just gonna put a fan there and call it quits. The shape is gonna change to be different. So stay tuned, please. So that's thrust. And should we go and show the Autobot one, which is Strafe, and he's actually Leon. So there's Strafe, the first Technobot to come into Transformers Earth Wars.
I like his face.
His business.
I like the plane. It's quite weird. It looks very like kind of like it's gonna battle in space, you know, on the planet.
Totally
you know,
looks like a
yeah.
spaceship.
Yeah.
Kinda.
It's quite cool. It's quite distinctive. It's quite original shape.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I like it.
Looking for the spin.
I like. You dare say I like his face?
Yeah, no, you did mention that.
Did I? No. Well, I do. The glowing eyes, I feel like is rare. No.
No, I think every Transformer in a way has glowing eyes. It just also in some of the portraits you can actually see them quite more obvious. It's sometimes even ridiculous obvious. Jetfire is like.
This I feel like I haven't seen before. But that's me.
It's also could be the lighting.
Yeah. So Thrust is kind of like a very reckless, not very intelligent, strategic bot.
Ah.
So it's like the kind that just like likes to just rush into the enemy and just fire. And
he's just
Strafe is
Dumb
more.
muscle.
Yeah, Strafe is a little bit more like fearful and just reacts overly to a situation. So he would just like, if he gets scared, he would shoot at everything. So we'll have a little bit, so we'll try to get like ability that reflects both of these traits.
So the ability we're still working on, and we will be actually giving it to the playtesters groups. We have like players working, helping us actually fixing and balancing these bots. They will be getting their hands on him quite soon, so we can go through the ability and balance it enough in time for their launch, which I think is gonna be in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks time. So we're gonna have another stream, and of course we're gonna actually start putting it in the newsletter as soon as it's ready. But we do want to be certain that it's gonna be properly good and balanced before we promise something. Then we have to change, and then people complain. So please stay tuned for the next stream or the newsletter for more information about the ability. Cool. So that's Strafe and Thrust.
And Thrust, they will come. As we say, in 2 weeks. We're still working on them pretty much.
Awesome. Should we? There's probably not enough questions, so we probably should move into the next thing, which is the Power Core Mines.
Yeah. So that was something that was requested by the players as well. We wanted to create some power core on the mines and make them kind of a different behavior.
Yeah.
So we came up with 2 different behaviors. So one is called the glass gas mine, is similar to the like, you have some glass gas ability. This is some sort of a debuff that is applied to the bots, and the bots receive more damage while they're under the effect. So this mine, you can see it on the screen now. If it's triggered in an area, it can affect multiple bots, same thing as a status mine, and the bots affected will receive more damage for a period of time.
Because we cannot change the basic time thing of the mine duration, the only thing that we do on top is like these effects will be actually extending the effect, the new effects for the power core.
Yeah. So if you upgrade the power core, the duration of the effect will increase.
Yeah.
So you can see it here. The damage boost
Stays the same, the duration actually goes up. So the effect will be lasting more the higher you actually level.
Yeah. So as you can see here on the screen, for example, if you upgrade it, you can see the duration of play is 2. That means with this core, your mine effect will last 2 times longer.
So it's about like if you are on an HQ16, so the thing is 5 seconds duration, so it's around like 10 seconds. Yeah. All the affected bots are gonna have like a 30% more, 30% more damage.
Nonetheless, it just changes the effect of the mine, but it also like extend the duration. So it's a proper. This core is like a proper buff. It's just not like a change of effect. It's also like it's a proper improvement for your mines.
Cool. So moving on to the second one, and that's actually the most interesting of the two for me, I think. Anyway, it's called the flare mine.
Yeah. So this one is actually affecting only one bot.
Yeah.
So that means that even if you have other bots around, only one will be affected. This bot will be slowed down. Slowed down by the effect of the mine, but also it will attract attention on all the defenses that are around him. That means that if you have a group of bots, all the defenses will retarget this bot that has triggered the mine.
So there's I think it's also has a bigger area effect of, because what it affects the bot that triggers it, but also like affects all the defenses around in order to tell that this bot is there. What this mine is special from the other ones is it can actually get triggered by stealthy bots. So if Slash or River Snapper or Punch and Counter Punch actually go through them while in the mode, this mine will still trigger. And what will happen is that it will get all the defenses that are around the area actually target like Slash and River Snapper while they're still in the stealth mode. So this is one of the things we're trying to do in order we know that a lot of players will be using Slash in kind of like to be able to win bases, but just using Slash and sending me over. So the idea is that this mine will be able to take care of it or help at least the defense, give an option to be able to counter that.
I mean, so we introduced a while ago, probably a year ago, we introduced like this stealth mode that we apply to other bots as well, such as like punch and counter punch, and there was no real strategy to go against that, so we wanted to bring like a defensive element that could like counter those bots that were virtually invincible when they were in a stealth mode.
People are asking, I'm going to actually level it to see that the difference, I think it's quite similar, that it goes up to 2 times, so that gives it 10 seconds of detection to everyone that actually, the mine that triggers. People are asking if actually the mine, like the glass one, does actually stun and then give a glass effect.
No, it doesn't stun anymore. So this one the glass mine is kind of like more, it's a good one to use in a group of building where you know you're going to bring a group of bots and then it's going to affect them all, and they're kind of like more static. It's not going to stun, so the bots will still be able to attack, but they will receive more damage in the area. So it's the same thing somehow with the flare mine. It won't stun anymore, but if you have like a good mine such as a gold one, it will slow down and somehow it's kind of like a half stun, you know, it's going to slow down the bots.
So some people are asking this is going to be a counter for Stealth Jetfire, and that won't be the case.
That won't be the case
because Jetfire flies over them, so he cannot trigger the mines.
It technically doesn't step on them.
So it's not for Jetfire, it's more for I guess all the ground-based ones. But there are strategies, of course, like if you send another bot to trigger the mine, then you open the space for Slash. So there are, I think people will just be able to walk around them for sure. So we'll see how the meta evolves by introducing these two mines.
There was also some other question that I remember some players asked, playtester for example, asked if like the effects can stack, and at the moment they can. So you can have different mine equipped with different cores, and the effects will stack.
So you could have a stun and glass and flare mine all together, and then they can all like just do their effects all together. And then
that could be quite deadly, but that would be also like putting all your mines in the same spot, which I don't know if you want to do that or not.
Some people are asking if the new mine cores affect Red Alert's ability. Red Alert ability resists stun, so if the new mines, the new cores in the mines don't produce stun, Red Alert ability won't be doing anything for you. No. So Red Alert is only as a counter to having a stun, not any other kind of an effect. So no, Red Alert will not be helping you in that case.
Are there G metal mine cores? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
So how's the difference between the different rarities? Is the duration is a bit less?
Wait, that's a good no. So for sure the buff is different. So for example, for the glass gas mine, if you have like a gold glass gas, the amount of damage the boss will receive will be higher than with a
so the 30% is on the gold, then it actually goes down on the others, and it goes up for the G metal ones.
There might be a slight difference on the duration, but I don't really remember right now. I could check that.
Cool.
And for the flare mine, it's the speed decrease that is different depending on the color of the mine.
Okay, cool. So these are the new mines coming in the game soon.
So probably next week.
Yeah, I think next week is probably when we're probably gonna be releasing them. So yeah, stay tuned. And
more defensive strategy for you.
I think it's all about, for me anyway, it's all about giving options. Like a lot of people say, what we like to do more is like nerf things. It's not. I like to have a balance, and I like people to have multiple options to how they approach the base and how they defend the base. And when I see like a strategy that all people use and there is no counter, then of course we're going to be trying to change something. Yeah. If it's possible to introduce new cores or new metal to counter it, we will try to do that. If that doesn't help, then we see like one bot or three, like with one bot being able to destroy a full base by just having a bot.
Then the game stops being fun. You just do the same thing.
Pretty much, like I've seen a lot of people do that. So hopefully this works out. There's a few other things gonna come in the new HQ. Also, Flame Core, as a reminder, actually does fire back if something hits the HQ, even if it's stealthy bot. So if you have a problem, like a Flame Core would also be a good option, because I will actually do some damage. So for having something like that, and maybe the mine and getting all the defense to actually trigger, maybe you'll be able to do it. There's other things like Slash and Reaper Sharper themselves in ability mode will be able to see each other. So if you have him in the outpost there and you pop him, he will be able to keep hitting Slash and Reaper Sharper even after the flare mine expires. So it's a few things. We keep working and we keep changing things and tweaking. So let's see how it goes.
Is there? So we can. Should we do a little bit of Q&A? Some of the...
Yeah, if you have any questions, any other questions I have not seen.
I heard, can we reduce the penalty for using the same combiner on second use from 25 or 13?
No. I'm pretty actually, I think when we did that actually changed a lot to the behavior of people that had combiners. And I think for us it actually has worked really, really well. Before that, everyone I'm just gonna only using one combiner. There's no reason to have more than one, and then you just limit to just having one and just leveling to the max. I think nowadays it's just you need to be tactical. You need to this base is a bit easier. I'm gonna be using my better combiner, and then use my best combiner when I need it. In some layouts, Victorian is a really good idea. Some other cases, Defensor or a Volcanicus can be your best solution. So I like the idea to just be able to use them, and then if you need to really use your new one, you should pay up.
This is what we were saying with Slash, and we kind of think the game for to have strategy based on different type of character, and we want players to discover them and enjoy the game that way.
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, there will be coming up with a new upgrade. There will be like more All-13, so you will have a bit more to play with, especially if you have to actually be using your combiners more. But but we will still keep the whole like difference of the cooldown, because it actually for us it worked really well. We've seen the usage of combiners go for one combiner per person to all of them, and that's quite hefty behavior to see.
Cool.
Any questions?
They're here.
So more research labs. A lot of people are asking it. Like I don't think. I mean, I know it's a lot of people want that. I think it's controversial. I don't think there's a need to. With the bosses, they are level 50. It's more about like something that you have to manage by saying like which is the most important character, which I need to prioritize. And after a while, your research lab is going to be sitting here doing nothing. Like mine is like just doing the same. So it is a pinch point. It is a point that you have to make a sacrifice and say like I want to prioritize this sport because it's going to be an advantage. But eventually, I mean, it's only like a few days. What I do foresee is like if with the new HQ we increase the level cap from level 60, we will probably allow to research a level 60 bot and at the same time research a bot on the lower levels. So we won't have those compete, because we do want to have a better extent for the level 60, but we don't want you to stop you from getting new characters and leveling up some new bots to play. But I don't foresee we're just gonna have one for any levels.
Yeah, so there was talking about HQ level 17, there was some question about this. When is it coming?
So HQ 17, as I said, we are working on it. We're actively working. There's no indication that we do want probably in this quarter, so the first 2-3 months of the year. But we do want to make sure that everything is good, because there's a lot of stuff to do. Like there's not just new levels for the buildings and new health and stats. So we have to make that in balance with the characters at the level we want them. We want to make some to buff some of the classes that have been like less useful, as mostly the gunners and the heirs, and also some of the warriors. So we want to tweak them based on the new HQ. We want to do like some measures in order to not hurt like the junior players. We want to introduce a way that in the war leagues, that when you go and fight these new HQs, that they won't be as powerful if it's some of the lower leagues. We want to see if there's some other way we can do like from single player, what you'll be doing like normal attacks, like we need to rebalance all the zones because they are a bit out of whack now with the introduction of some of the seal generator and the combiner building. So we want to rebalance all that. Like there's a lot of things we need to do, and a few other surprises. So we will do it whenever it's done, and we won't rush it.
Yeah.
We will get probably some feedback from some of the community, but yeah, it's gonna be coming hopefully in the next 2 months or something, hopefully. But
it is a big chunk of work, more than
Yeah.
just increasing the building. We want to make sure the game is still fun for like every type of player, and that takes a lot of like calculation.
Cool.
Maybe we could do a little bit of trivia.
Cool. Yeah, let's.
It's a bit early, but so you can still ask questions for a later Q&A, because I think we'll have some time at the end of this stream. But in the meantime, we can do some trivia, which are quite fun today. It's musical ones.
Musical one.
Musicals,
Cool,
nice.
Cute.
So for trivia, you can. I'm gonna ask a question. You can post your answer in the chat. In order for us to find you, please give us your in-game name, your HQ level, and your alliance name in the game along with your questions. So the first question is, the world-famous song American Pie by Don McLean features the name of which Transformer?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a random one.
Good luck, guys. So, want to repeat this question once
Yeah.
again?
So the world-famous song American Pie by Don McLean features the name of which Transformer?
Awesome.
Awesome. I don't know if you can know. We cannot play the song, but people.
No, that would probably, because we're going to be taken down by. So you're using the music.
No need, what's-
Let's see what other questions there is. In the meantime, if there are going to be events for opposing function, I think a lot of the reasons why we give premium shards instead of premium crystals is gives you the opportunity to like exchange them with the other function kind of bots, if that's what you mean. You also like the 3 stars and 4-star shards are usually there for if you want to be getting bots from the other function. There is no plans for you to just get input from the other function, but I don't know, maybe we'll just might do something in the future. I will give you then some advice to Hyro, but we know that most people just want to focus on the main function, so this is not something we're actually thinking at the moment.
There was also a question about if G1 cores would eventually come in the Shining Store.
I don't know, like I really don't know the idea, like what Hyro has in mind for updating the store. There's a few ideas, but I don't want to bring it because I am not really aware of what he has planned. So I'm not gonna talk about it.
This is more community events coming soon.
Nothing planned at the moment, but we do want to do ones because we know that you guys like them. So hope with the new year we'll be able to like just do more of them coming up. So definitely like just probably gonna do something as soon as we can. I think at the moment we probably won't be able to do it because we cannot set our promo codes anymore. But after we fix that, we'll probably be able to do something like that.
Also, there was a question about daily achievements. Will they ever come to the game?
So there is a work we're doing at the moment with actually doing more achievements.
So not daily ones, that
not
the
daily
one
like
that's...
normal achievements like the ones in the game, but we are gonna be, I think quite soon we're gonna be releasing this change. So there's gonna be a lot of achievements for a lot of things already in the game, a lot of actions that you guys already done. So you should be able to get a few rewards based on that. And in the future, we are trying to see what we can do and what else is there for us to do future. Something like daily achievements or daily missions or something is something we consider, so you never know.
Will we have weekend raid again?
What? Weekend raid?
Yeah.
I think you probably will. I need to remind Hyro because he always says like, oh yeah, I need to put that in, but I guess we didn't want to do anything like that over the holidays for sure, but with the new year, I think we're probably gonna find some space to put it in.
Any chance to make raid more challenging?
And
That's...
well, I think there will be. I think at the moment rates are not really balanced correctly. I mean, there's a lot of alliances struggling, a lot of alliances finish quite easy. When we actually finish with a lot of the HQ 17 and all of the other things we're planning on doing, I do want to sit down and actually make some tweaks on the rates. I do think there could be some improvements. I do think the DPS, especially on the higher levels, is a bit too punishing. I do probably want to change that with more of like more health, less DPS, so you don't actually die quite just straight away. But at least you can still do you need to do a few more attempts because there's more health. So definitely this is room for balancing and changing it. We would need to for sure and make them a bit better.
Zone 15 possibly?
As I said, like new HQ, new zones, there will be new zones for sure. There will be a rebalance of the existing zones. There could be maybe some new cool special zones. So stay tuned with the new release. There will be an update in there for sure.
So I have some winners.
Oh, there's actually a quick question from Chodabor. Thanks for asking. They were asking us actually if we are willing to donate something for the Australia wildfire relief. Like Deb's pet project, she loves that, so that's why I see pet straight up. We are considering actually doing a donation for one of the upcoming events. Stay tuned for more information, but we are actually looking, I think.
We're looking into it. Yeah. No, I think it's super cool that this came from you guys as
Yeah.
well, you know, and you're like, hey, what about this? And wouldn't it be cool if we did something together as a games community? And so yeah, we were very touched by that, and so we are looking into it. No promises yet. Of course, you can always, you know, if there's something on your heart, always feel free to donate to the causes directly.
Yeah.
You don't need us for that, but so definitely encourage you guys to do that. But we are looking into it on our end because it'd be great if we could help you guys do that or support it in some way. So stay
Cool.
tuned.
Awesome.
So, back to the
We
trivia.
have winners.
We have winners. So the question was, in the world famous song American Pie by Don McLean, which Transformers name is featured? And the answer is Dirge. And the actual lines goes, the quartet practiced in the park and we sang dirges in the dark. Yeah, so the winners are, congratulations to them, Blastwave 06 from the how to pronounce Illuminati. This one.
Illumin Body, yeah.
Yeah. We have Burnout Prime from the Rangers Records, and we have Oceanus 4 from the Terra Guardians.
Cool. Congratulations, guys.
Give it a few days and you should receive some freebie in the game since we will find you. Because you gave us your in-game name and the good answer, give it a few days, and then if you don't have anything by Monday, contact us.
Cool. Awesome.
Cool. Should we ask another questions?
Let's do another question while do some more Q&A. Do you want to do the question?
Yeah, I'll read the second questions. Which Pharrell Williams songs feature the line "and all our car doors go up like Transformers"?
I think it was Jairo that actually wrote all these questions.
You think? Yeah, I'll repeat the question. Which Pharrell Williams song features the line "all our car doors go up like Transformers"? Pop the answer in the chat with your in-game name and HQ level and alliance name.
Cool. I'm gonna take some questions in the meantime. Someone is asking if we're ever gonna have a solo leaderboard as an event. I don't think so, because I think a solo leaderboard will burn a lot of people out and it will probably end up causing a lot of unwanted stress for a lot of our players. I do want to maybe at some point introduce a solo kind of leaderboard for recognition inside another kind of event style, but we don't really have the tech, but something we might consider in the future. So I don't think the event itself would be a solo leaderboard, but it might actually have some maybe good rewards as a recognition for the people that actually do the most.
Is there any plan to have outpost bots in raids?
In the future, maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, there's one of the things that we said we probably not gonna have is outpost bots in raids, because it always becomes a problem. Like, so what happens if someone else pops it, and then you need to remember the health and the state of it. So we need to see if it's actually that possible. But like maybe in the future, yeah, we could have something like combiners, bots. Why not?
Can you give us a tease of something coming in 2020?
I mean, we said actually 17, I guess that's a cheap way of saying it. So there will be, it's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff happening for sure. A lot of new ways you can customize and power up your bots. That could be something that's coming up. There's going to be a lot of interesting new characters and a lot of requested characters coming in.
People
We're
were
going to
talking
try
about
like a few more game modes or some twist in the existing wars, or might be single players, something to do. This is one of the things I want to be working on. So there's going to be a few things coming up.
So we answered that question last time as well, but can you make it possible to test-based trials with other people in your alliance? That's your base.
As I said, like that was easy to do, but we do not have the ability to serve the replays for that. And for me, I didn't want to do an ability for you to attack bases and not actually be able to send a replay to the person that you attacked, was saying like, look, this is
that's why you want to.
Because that's why you do it. You want to like test your friends' bases and give them some tips and advice. I don't want to have something that will require you to save a video and then go from an outside source. So there's something still we're working on in order to be able to serve this. And when we be able to get to do that, I will just turn it on. It's not that part is already done, but as I said, I prefer to be able to send this a message as a replay to the member reviewer alliance.
Cool. I'm looking for answers.
Cool.
for the
You
Q&A.
can do the question, the answers. How can I grab something?
I actually have 3 winners, so I can just quickly jump in and give the answer to the questions that we were asking before. The question was, which Pharrell Williams song featured the line, "and all our car doors go up like transformers"? And the answer is, "Can I have it like that?" And the winners are Papi Blaze from Scorched Moon, Cruelest from Prime? No, Cruelest Prime from TF Primer, Wind Chaser from Cybercore Sigma. Congratulations to you guys.
Congratulations, guys. I like the one person that got picked just say like, oh, you just pick names, like, oh, apparently you picked yours all. So, no, there is stuff is happening on the background, we just don't make a big deal out of that. But they're still gonna happen. We don't have any preference for people or any other thing.
There's a lot of questions about the billboards. People want like cores on the billboard. They want them to attack. They want
Well, it might be the next level, the next thing happening. Maybe billboards will just be the most
Yeah.
powerful thing in the game. That is just come in and just one shot you. You never know.
I always find it funny because it's kind of thing you put at the beginning just to build the building, and then people think like, oh, make
I
them
mean,
attack.
It costs money, but yeah, we'll see in the future because there is a limited space in the canvas. We don't want to keep introducing new buildings because it's already quite fully packed. So if we cannot utilize something that's already there, we might be able to do that. But yeah, stay tuned. We were asking if we can adjust squads from shuttle without having to coin. Assume that's like if you can go into your shuttle and change who is there without having to coin the bots. I'll put it in my list of cool things to bring, and I still don't know if it's possible because there's a few other things happening that could be preventing that happening even from the shuttle screen. But I'll have a look, see if something like that is possible. Pablo says like he likes watching you do the stabbies.
Do the stabbies.
Yeah.
Oh, are we doing that now?
No, we
No,
didn't
it's not.
already.
Nice. Clearly very tuned in. Ugh, you guys don't need me. You're doing your own thing. It's fine. I'm just here in case something breaks. So.
Nothing breaks. Nothing ever
Never.
breaks.
Never.
Can we have target masters?
I don't know. Yeah, like we do have some headmasters, but they're not really headmasters in the game. Target masters, it is a cool thing. Maybe we could do something in the future. If we can actually make them actually fit more, or it could be just a core. I don't know. Yeah, it's quite a cool, interesting thing. So maybe. And my favorite question: if replays are ever gonna be fixed? Like, probably not. The reason for replays, I exactly said 100%. It's not video, and we cannot send a video because it takes too much size and everything. It's a recreation and a log. So if anything happens with the board, just like getting nuts out of the way, it moves like it needs like next to it, that can actually make everything out of sync. So maybe in the future we can have a look and try to improve them, but it's not a lot of things we can do because when you have boards like coming together and then trying to be broken apart, it's really hard to keep that track of all that data in order to pass it on the client and tell you the board is exactly in this location and this is exactly where it should be moving. The more detail we have to save and carry off, the harder it is to actually do that. So it's one of the reasons why it's been quite inaccurate and quite hard to fix. because any solution we might do will be either too big, too hard to send, too hard to store, and it's a lot of complexity there. Will new bot classes ever come out, Fabian? That's one for design.
I was thinking about it today. I was actually thinking that could be potentially a good thing. Just like the bot classes have been around for a long time, there's not. They could.
I don't know, like, so at the launch of the game, there's an interesting story, like how special bots were created, that we had more classes. We had the leader class, where Optimus Prime was a leader, Scout class was Scout class. There was like a few more classes. There was like the deployer classes, that was like Soundwave and Blaster. So it created a problem that at that point especially we just couldn't find, like, why would you why would you go through all the effort of doing all these classes if then eventually they tend to be quite similar in behavior. And they all become like quite one bot has this functionality like deployers. Why would you have a class like that? So that's why we created the special class, and that's why we put a lot of things in there. I don't know.
So I think the
makes
answer
sense.
is what you said. Like if
Yeah.
you can make something actually different, like in terms of like behavior on the battlefield, that would be an interesting thing to do. If it's just creating another class that does more or less the same thing with different stats, then probably not.
Yeah. But if it makes sense and it doesn't actually makes the game like, okay, we have a neat bot which is like a class of its own and it's just one bot. I mean, triple changes are kind of like we was introduced quite later as a class, and that's like 3 bots now from each function. So
And it's actually
maybe if we find like some 6 changer at some point, then we make a 6 changer class, maybe something like that. But I'm not saying we're gonna make 6 changer because that would be ridiculously hard on the UI to put all that stuff in somewhere there. Cool.
I think that's about it. People are like, there's a lot of like, oh, I want this bot in the game. When is this bot coming? We trust us. We always look at all the bots every time we meet with.
There's a lot of bots. I mean, there's a lot of bots we have to be doing, and we want to be doing, and or we have to be doing. There's a lot of stuff in there, and there's still like so many bots in the lore that exists. So if you like a bot, chances is eventually he will come in the game, but things need to be kind of prioritized. So
we always, the most common thing that is asked is just like, oh, keep on doing some G1 characters, and as usual what we say is like, we'll keep on doing them, and we just like to spice it up sometimes just to like bring like a Beast Wars character, but we still have some G1 characters in the pipeline.
People are asking, which is the next bot to get a buff?
The next bot to get a buff is probably Punch and Counter Punch.
And Blades, I think.
And Blades, yeah.
There is, those two are like Punch and Counterpunch and Blades, and they are in our list to have a look. We do know like they're not as useful in the game, so we do want to like retweak them. So I think the best bet is they are gonna be getting a bit of a buff. There are some other bots, like as people say, Miraz. Maybe not get a buff as per se, but maybe he gets a G1 core, making it interesting in the future. So there's a few other things. Some of them will be changed, I think, as a buff. Some could be changed with a new G1 core.
That's some interesting
We are,
thing to do with Mirage.
especially with G1 cores, this is what we try to do. We don't try. Sometimes we get like the popular bots, but some always try and get like, let's find a bot that's not as useful and actually kind of tweak them around. That's how Gno got his buff recently. So we always just keep an eye for some of the older bots and try to improve them and make them more useful in the meta. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and most of the time it actually comes from the players and from the feedback. That's what happened with Windblade, for example. It was long requested and we made it happen following.
It takes a bit of time because at the same time we have to work on new stuff, and it is priority for us, I guess, to do new bots. But we are trying to get them in, and we're putting a note for every request that people said. So we are always listening, and like this is a big note, but it just takes time, and we need to be able to find some places really to put it in.
Yeah. So next one, Punch, Counter Punch, Blades and Dirge probably.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see if there are any other questions. We have like a few minutes left. And
Looking for a question as well.
there's a lot of other like requests for buffs on characters that I know they're not obviously strong, but I've seen a lot of people in top wars that are actually using. There's a mention about Drift and Barricade. Like I've seen a lot of people like fighting in top 10 alliance wars and actually using those bots really good. There is a lot of the bots are situational and there's no hard to use. I think there's a lot of other characters that needs improvement before those bots, to be honest. We're always gonna look at advice, but sometimes you just need to use them a bit different. There's not always the boss like, oh, Starsaber, yeah, it just deals massive damage all over the place. It's really powerful. It's easy to use. Sometimes you have to be clever with how you use the bots. Cool.
Yeah,
So I think that's pretty much it.
I look so angry when I'm like focused.
It's
It's weird, right?
trying to get these ideas down. Or you're angry with who you sending a message to. It's like, oh, it's you.
No, not at all. Just wordsmithing. But yeah, it's weird when you see yourself.
No, I'm never gonna see this stream ever.
See yourself video.
No!
You were just doing this.
No, never. Cool. So I think we're gonna be wrapping up. So it was an interesting stream coming back from the holiday. So we covered in the event for this weekend. It's gonna be an Alliance Totalizer event with Super XP, a 4-star crystal to be had, lots of like spark, up to like 100,000 spark. I think if you do the extra mile rewards. There's a lot of other shards and there's also a gold chip, so there's a lot of cool
I'm just
stuff.
gonna hop out. I'm trying to catch someone before they leave.
Yeah, you probably have to say bye, I guess.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We also saw our new bots coming up in the game, Strafe
And Trust. Yeah,
Trust.
so Strafe is in his final form, and Trust we're still working on the 3D model. There will be some changes. Some people were asking if we're going to share the changes on Trust. We'll probably have a render by next week. It's not sure,
Yeah.
but you'll see it.
We'll definitely put it in the newsletter,
Yeah.
so you'll
That's
definitely be able to see it like when it's ready and
Yeah.
you can see the new model. Hopefully you approve. We also saw the new Minds course that's going to coming out next week.
As well, yeah.
So a few more options for defense there, and hopefully a few ways of helping you guys deal with some unwanted things. And yeah, that's it. And we did a lot of Q&A, so you'll probably have a transcript of this in our Discord chat, so people can actually go through. So
We will
yeah.
be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks
and
time to show the ability
Team.
for Strafe and Trust, and do more Q&A, maybe have more details about HQ70 at that
Maybe
point.
Rayo will be back this time.
Maybe,
Yeah,
maybe. Cool. So thanks everyone for joining us. It was nice to see you again. Hope you have an awesome year,
Yeah.
and
We wish you a happy new year again.
Yeah, happy
and
new year.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
yeah. So
Bye.
bye everyone.